Why? I didn't finish reading any of the books I planned on reading, so I'm stealing this tag from Charlie. So this is the Ho 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 tag by Kim Chance and Melissa Hope. Linking Charlie down below because they totally saved me this week. I had so much going on. You see this curtain behind me? It's because I had a Zoom interview that I was totally freaking out about. I got off that interview and I was like, nervous energy. So I'm kind of filtering all that into this video. Number 1, Santa Claus. If you could ask Santa for one thing off of your author bucket list, what would you ask for and why? Hey, can you come finish these edits for me? There's a Deep Space Nine episode where Sisko's son gets kind of entrapped by this alien that brings out your artistic potential by sucking your life out of you. And he's totally into it. He's right in this book and dying. And never in a million years would I accept that deal, but as the years go by, I see the appeal more and more. You know what I would ask Santa for? I would ask him to come do my newsletter for me, because my executive dysfunction has kept that on the back burner for 2 months now. I really need to think of something. Number 2, The Ghost of Christmas Past. What's one piece of advice you wish your past self knew about writing, or what advice would you give to fellow aspiring writers? Advice to me: don't outline so much. I used to outline so much. Hey, okay, wait. This is an outline. That's an outline for a single story. It's too much. It's too much. Especially because I'm the type of person where it's easy to imagine something that's not actually possible. It can't happen. So once I get into the actual writing part, then I realize all this has to go. If this is the actual quality channel, I would insert the video clip of Sigourney Weaver in Aliens freaking out you can kiss all this goodbye. I can't believe I actually had papers on my desk to do that. Oh my god. Nervous energy. Release. Number 3, Elves. Santa has his little helpers. What resource has been the most helpful to you or most invaluable to your writing process? AuthorTube. Definitely AuthorTube. I have a friend who kicked me in the butt to start writing, but AuthorTube has kept me writing. For all my antisocial ways, I'm apparently very social. It's been an interesting year. Yep. 4, Gingerbread Cookies. What is your favorite holiday treat? What is your MC's favorite holiday treat from your current work in progress? My favorite holiday treat is the little peppermint bark Ghirardelli squares, or however you pronounce that company. I don't care how you pronounce that company, screw them. I haven't bought any this year because I've been trying to find a version of that chocolate that uses fair trade and not actual child slaves to get the chocolate. So if you know that, put it down below. I would like to know. As for my MC, I have a holiday in the story, but it's just a generic holiday that I mentioned because that meant the one person didn't have to go to work. I don't know. She likes duck broth in general though, so there. Number 5, holiday traditions. What is your favorite family tradition? What fictional character would you like to share that tradition with? Do we even have any? When I was a kid, we used to go to my mom's friend's house to make kolaczki, which are little Polish cookies, a square cookie that you put jam in the middle and you fold the edges over, so it's a little burrito looking thing. Those were good. I should have put that as the answer to the last question. Anyway, whatever. I don't know. I mean, we don't really do anything. When we were kids, we did the Christmas tree and the presents, but that was pretty much it. I mean, never really believed in Santa, so we didn't really do Santa stuff. I mean, maybe there was Christmas movies on. Also had a weird religious situation growing up because my mom, super Catholic, my aunt, who was also like my second mom, she's more Buddhist, and I was raised kind of like neither. So I don't know, we don't really have holiday traditions. I mean, besides the Twilight Zone marathon, we don't have anything. That counts. Yeah, that counts. Twilight Zone marathon. Well, that's what we do. Actually, I'm the only one that still does it. After, like, the day after Christmas, that freaking marathon goes on, and it stays on. You know what the funny thing is that I've been watching that show and, like, doing this marathon thing for, like, God, 30 years. And every year, I find an episode that I have not seen yet. It's nuts. Number 6. Star of Bethlehem. What started your journey to write your first book? Has the journey turned out like you imagined? Where would you like to see it go in the future? My first original book was really dumb. I had gotten like a push light, like one of those little push lights in the shape of a star. And just to give context about how long ago this was, push lights were new. And they were like this new cool thing. So I had this idea with this high school girl. She gets a push light from her boyfriend because, you know, new cool thing. And then she gets hit by a car and ends up in another world where everyone has a familiar, like their own personal familiar, that is also half of their soul. So if one of them dies, the other will die. They can't exist without one without the other. And this girl, being from Earth, she didn't have one, and she also didn't need one. So when she showed up in this world with her stupid little push light, they thought that maybe that was hers, that was her familiar, and she just like rolled with it because she was like, oh, well, I guess I'm dead and this is what the afterlife is. Yeah, it's my familiar. But people who come to that alternate dimension from Earth, they don't last very long because the magic users in that world, they're always looking for people from Earth because people who have their entire soul contained within their body are like super battery sources of power. Yeah. So, you know, after that, like standard anime style hijinks ensued, and never finished that story. It was one of the ones that I outlined and then ran into the issue I discussed before that it doesn't make sense. Number 7. Every time I do these videos where I have to like hold up fingers, I'm always worried that I'm not holding up the right amount of fingers. Number 7. The Night Before Christmas. What's your favorite book to read during the holidays? I don't have one. If we're talking about books I read all the time though, any one of these. I love this series. It is my obsession. Kyo Karamao was my Nano Project fanfic thing. This series is my obsession. Let's just leave it at that. 8. Christmas parties. What's your best advice for juggling writing with the busy holiday season? Don't burn yourself out. I mean, any writing you do is writing that got done, and don't be afraid to skip a day or rest. I've recently fallen into the trap of refusing to take a nap before I start writing, and then I just crash. And then it just repeats the cycle all over again, because after I crash, I'm like, oh god, I gotta stay up and finish this. And then I'm up to like 4:30 and getting 5 hours of sleep, and it's just like over and over and over. Just, you know, take care of yourself first. It's so much easier to write when you're not miserable. And also, you know, if you got like family that you want to talk to and stuff, I mean, that should come first too. Although I don't really have that problem because very small family and half of them live here in this house with me, so I don't have tips and advice for that. Number 9, Polar Express. I have not watched that movie. What writing rituals do you use to transport yourself into the world of your book or mindset of your characters? Nothing really groundbreaking here. I just read what I already wrote. I'm one of those people who like to read their own writing. I know a lot of people hate it, but I love it. Even if it's crap, I do like reading my own writing. Psychoanalyze that how you will, but that's usually what I do. I'll scroll back up to the beginning of the scene, scroll back up to the beginning of the scene, and then read through the scene until I get where I need to start writing again, and that's usually enough for me. Of course, that means that the beginnings of my scenes are like 300 times more edited than the ends of my scenes. So, that may be an issue at some point. Number 10. Not gonna get this number wrong. Sugar and spice and everything nice. In the spirit of spreading kindness and cheer, give a special shout out to someone who has been instrumental in your writing journey or someone who has really helped you along the way. So shout out to Charlie in the writing sprints. I have been missing huge chunks of them recently because my hours have started to go back to like pre-plague time hours. But the end chunks are still fun. They go on forever sometimes, so definitely check them out. Tessa Dean, Austin K, and Laura Nettles also have writing sprints I like to hop in on. Then there's the CPs that have come and gone, but they're super nice and offered me my first impartial feedback on my work. Oh, and then shout out to the woman that I cannot name because, you know, she doesn't like to be named. But she is the reason I started writing instead of just daydreaming everything. Well, started writing again. She really cracked that whip. Anyway, that was the tag. I will see you all next week, hopefully with the book reviews that I've been putting off forever. I tried to finish Midnight Sun. I really did. I got from the 60% mark to the 66% mark before falling asleep. Edward's melodrama put me to sleep. I'm gonna try though. I am gonna try and finish Midnight Sun and the Thunderhead, and we're gonna make that video. And then after that, I actually have an interesting idea. I gotta use that interesting idea as like blackmail to myself. Get through it. Get through it. Anyway, see you later. Bye bye.